Fala galera, tudo bem com vocês? Um assunto que vinha sendo bastante comentado era o fato das equipes brasileiras não terem nenhum off-season para disputar e assim conseguirem testar seus novos elencos e poder ter a chance de consertar problemas antes da temporada oficial começar. Porém, aparentemente, esse problema será resolvido. A informação foi trazida pelo Nando Show, que vazou o campeonato off-season do Tichinha, com premiação de $10 mil e já conta com 5 times do VC Américas confirmados. O campeonato acontecerá em dezembro, logo após o fim da etapa 3 do VCB. Os times confirmados são Cru Esportes, MIBR, Fúria, Loud e 2Game. O Game Arena entrou em contato com o Tichinha, que confirmou a informação e afirmou que o anúncio será feito em breve. Pois é galera, nesse campeonato do Tichinha, provavelmente acontecerão as estreias do ASPAS no MIBR, DGZIN e Vini na Loud, Hit e Rafa na Fúria e muito mais. E após a notícia, o Jean, um dos donos da Loud, até comentou aí: mal posso esperar pra ver o maridão, falando sobre o DGZIN. Pois é, mas durante uma live recente, o DGZIN falou que é provável que eles não participem desse campeonato, pois o Pancada irá passar por uma cirurgia, saca só.
Geral aqui tá querendo jogar campeonato, tá ligado? Então, Chico, há muito tempo parado, pô, é foda. Tipo, o último campeonato que eu joguei, tipo, em LAN, assim, foi o primeiro split, tá ligado? Então, tipo, é foda, tá ligado? Você fica, caralho, vamos jogar, mano. Cadê os camp? Pá, não tem. Esperar. Aí já é, mas zero. Vai jogar off-season, eu não sei, mano. Não, tem o do Tichinha, só que o Pancada acho que vai ter que fazer uma cirurgia, tá ligado? Que é importante. Aí, se pá, ela vai ter que give up por causa disso, tá ligado? E aí ele vai precisar de muito tempo pra recuperar, tá ligado? O Mero joga contra o Pancada no CF. Ah, muito bom. O Calma tá em casa, ele vai chegar aqui amanhã de manhã. Tá só eu vindo aqui, os moleques estão fazendo os bagulho lá ainda.
Chegar pra salvar o dia.
Coloca o coreano no lugar. Pô, é foda, mano. Você não pode jogar o primeiro, um off-season sem o teu time completo, tá ligado? Não faz muito sentido. Mas enfim, a gente ainda não sabe, tá ligado? Vamos ver. Talvez dê tempo. Talvez dê tempo. Tá, eu só tô dando uma suposição, tá ligado?
Pois é galera, então a Loud pode acabar ficando de fora do único campeonato off-season que terá aqui no Brasil. Mas e aí, qual a sua opinião sobre tudo isso? Já deixa aí nos comentários e se liga nesse recado antes da próxima notícia. A Black Friday tá chegando e com ela a chance de você e seu duo deixarem de ser pinões e estancar essa hemorragia que tá acontecendo no histórico de vocês. Com certeza tu já ouviu falar na Vavá Academy, a plataforma número 1 quando o assunto é fazer você deixar de ser um Nilba e subir de elo. Então se liga, se um de vocês assinar o Vavá Academy, o outro vai ganhar acesso à plataforma totalmente de graça. E lá, além de aulas prontas, ensinando como atacar e defender em todos os mapas, entre outros ensinamentos, vocês dois também terão um coach radiante, e vai analisar o que os dois patetas estão fazendo de errado. E parece impossível, mas ele vai mostrar o caminho pra você chegar no radiante. Mas se liga, essa promoção só vai valer em novembro. Basicamente tá saindo pela metade do valor. É só vocês dois fazerem a meinha. Então não perde tempo e o link vai estar aqui na descrição. Nessa quarta-feira rolou mais um episódio do Play Chat, e um dos assuntos comentados por lá foi o novo time do MIBR, e eles debateram se esse time seria o melhor time brasileiro para o ano que vem, e legendamos esse trecho aqui para conferirmos. Então, vamos lá ver.
A team that is certainly in the dip, but looks like they're in the bounce back is MIBR, right? Ever since ASPAS was unable to join Bleed, MIBR have found themselves in the prime position to make good on the best Brazilian player, one of the best in the entire world, arguably the greatest of all time, dropped straight into their laps. And VSpace, who the website that's been doing a lot of reporting on stuff happening within the Latin and Brazilian scene, have reported that the MIBR roster is set. This is something that's been kind of rumored for a while, but we've just never taken the time to talk about on Platchat. So I wanted to put it here before we do our like way too early tier list, because I think MIBR's changes from what they were planning to do originally, which was keep the majority of the roster, to what they're now doing, which is forming it around ASPAS a lot, is going to shake up the Americas tier system quite considerably.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I mean, I think I said on a prior episode, was it rumored but not like actually reported?
I think so. Yeah, it's been
is what we already covered at the beginning of the month, I believe.
Yeah, it's only rumored at the moment. Nothing's official.
Right, but yeah, it's exciting for me because I think a lot of players would love the opportunity to play with a player like ASPAS. But yeah, it's a hell of a firepower upgrade as well. Like it definitely bumps them up a little bit as well. But it's all about I don't know. I think ASPAS is a particular player in terms of what he wants out of a team, and like he is such a percentage player as well in terms of how he plays, where he's always trying to make the most like optimal and perhaps safe move, which is again not going to go on the tirade again. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I put my foot in my mouth every time I talk about ASPAS. But yeah, he's I don't know. He's one of those players that you would happily build around, but he's so particular about how he wants to play as well that it's I don't know. No doubt in my mind, I think the team's going to be putting together wins. But are they just slotting him into the old MIBR roster?
No. So they picked up
NOSSO.
Yeah. No, go for it. Go for it.
Those are the other tier 2 players that I don't know.
Oh,
so
right,
that's
yeah.
why I stopped.
Oh no, they've also got Xenom and Cortesia in there as well. So these are players that people probably won't be as familiar with, but they've been kind of tearing it up. I think they've both been playing a lot of smokes recently. Now I could be wrong with that because again, I'm not super familiar with the both, but yeah, I think they've both been playing smokes recently in the tier 2 scene, but they've been kind of demolishing. They look nasty, and I believe these are a couple of the players that ASPAS was like, I want to play with these guys. So when they moved away from the previous MIBR roster, they originally they were intending on keeping the majority of those former players, and now they've only kept a single one. And DGZIN is good. Like DGZIN, I was pretty impressed with last year. I thought he was a solid player. But you get like ASPAS back with NOSSO, who he wanted to play with at the start of Leviathan, and then you get two like cracked up and coming players, Xenom and Cortesia, who ASPAS has like specially tried to like pick out. I think that's as being up and comers, like
that's a good sign.
Like, whoa,
that's a great sign.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And then you put Fraud in there as well, like proven coaches worked with him before. Like this is a scary team. This is the best Brazilian team, or at least in my eyes. And again, it's one of those teams where you're like, if these tier 2 players, again, we never kind of know about the tier 2 players really, but like if they're kind of looking at the stats and they can perform. Not saying they're going to perform as well as like Verno or Mada did, but if they can kind of start like looking like this and the early signs, it's another team that can be fighting for the top for sure.
I think this year is going to be. Oh wait, go ahead.
I was just going to say having like ASPAS confident in like an actual team that he's built and actually got people around him so he can feel good, because it doesn't feel like he's ever like super happy at the end of his teams. I guess it's always like, I want to move teams or like something's not wrong. So having him in a team where he's got to choose everything, like that could be pretty scary. Actually having him happy,
we can blame him if it doesn't work now.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, but I think that's a scary sign. And yeah, if we're just looking at like pure numbers of this team, this is the best Brazilian team that's getting formed right now.
I think this is it's really interesting because we've seen ASPAS like 3 different versions. So the one that was lifting the Champions Trophy in like 2022, the one that got top 3. Like if you think about it, he's always made it really far, and we always talk about ASPAS. We know how good he is, but this is, I feel like, the biggest test that he's gonna have in his career, if he's able to build a team around him of players that, I know he knows NOSSO, but I don't know how familiar he is with the other players. But build this team around him and make it work and make it international. They look good, but making it to champions, making it to the first 2 masters that we're gonna have, I feel like that's a lot to ask for right now, looking at how all the other teams are looking. So I feel like this is a test for ASPAS, and if he's gonna do it, he continues to be just one of the GOATs for Valorant. It's not easy to do. Even having NOSSO that is so experienced and that they know each other, they played each other before. Even like coming with inexperienced players, and you always have to take into account like it's players that if you put on the side the fact that they're tier 2 and that we might not know how good they are. For Brazilians, for Latin Americans, it's always a struggle to move, and you don't know how you're gonna adapt on the stage. You don't know how hard it is to live your family, and those things in the past for Brazil, for Latin America, they've always played a part in what we see in the success. So it's a big test for the team, and I kind of want to see what they do. I don't know. I feel like I kind of put them in the middle just because I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I do think though this is the best case scenario for ASPAS. I think if he went to bleed as was intended, and that world worked out, I think his potential would have been wasted.
Yeah, it's the retirement.
Not even like, yeah. I think he would have just been there to get it back and get out, and he would have been checked out, like he has been on some teams in the past. I think
Actually
just from
crying
his
himself to
attitude.
sleep with the 100 bill notes. Oh no, I didn't make it to champ.
Just all the potential money laundered money that went through him. Anyway, it's
allegedly.
Please don't sue me. This is a good. I mean, I don't know. I really like this because I've been quite concerned for a while of how like North America focused the Americas League is, and how much that's, I think, in the future going to hamper talent development in Brazil and LATAM. And so the fact that
it's already happening.
It is already happening, and it's been happening for a while, and I think it's just going to get worse over time unless something gets done about it. But the at least ASPAS coming back to this team, actually, you know, picking players that he wants, that he knows that are good, you know, and actually having that direction. It's exciting because you get that injection of talent that's been so promising as well in tier 2, and they get to play on the big stage with him. So I think this is the best case scenario.